Melody Beattie, and this book has been around for at least 30, 40 years, and it's called The Language of Letting Go. It's a daily read, and like I said, this is by Melody Beattie.
Lilli, you recommended that book to me back in the 90s, and that was my go-to for a year.
Yes, I'm sure. And it has a lot of really excellent information. All right, what I would like to do today is to go over from the get-go, from the beginning, with Reiki. Okay, Reiki is over 3,000 years old. It stems originally from Tibet. It made its way through China, then into Japan, and then from Japan into the island of Kauai, and from there it just kind of went all over the Western world. When I first began researching and studying Reiki, I had a student who had studied it before and I decided, okay, I'm going to look into this a little bit here and there. And when I finally did, and I finally embraced it after having various people work on me, I decided that this is really a beneficial tool for all folks, and that this particular energy has always been on the planet, though it has been called many different things. Bioplasmic energy, the fifth element, Ra with the Egyptians, Christ consciousness. So, and we are not doing the work. Creator is doing the work. We are just presenting ourselves and saying, right now, Spirit, I surrender my entire life to Thee. I am your woman or your man. I am your instrument. What is it you would have me do? Reiki, R-E-I-K-I. The first part of Re is like Ray, the radiant cosmic energy of the sun. Ki is like the key to the ignition or turning on the light switch. Reiki. When you are first starting Reiki session, start with utilizing that as a mantra to call the energy to you. You can do Reiki, 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 Reiki. Reiki is a little bit like a prayer. It's a little bit like a mantra. It's a little bit like meditation. And it's even a little bit like massage. Massage therapists really enjoy it because it's very peaceful feeling. Gentle, peaceful, quiet, tranquil, and so that gives a lot of restoring the balance. The time is now. So we also want to know the 5 principles of Reiki, and this is a good way to live one's life. And the first is, just for today, do not anger. And the reason we do not anger, is anger, there's fear. Always underneath anger is fear, Fear being false evidence appearing real. And we want to touch base with what that fear is, whether it be in ourselves or another that we're interacting with. So what is that fear? Because oftentimes, if we can address whatever the fear is that's coming up, then the whole situation, once that's dealt with, the whole situation can kind of just drop to the floor, and it no longer becomes a huge obstacle to overcome. Just for today, do not worry. And the reason we don't worry, it's like if you can do something about whatever is taking place, do it. If you cannot, do surrender, let go, let God. good orderly direction. Release, surrender. Okay? So worry, we find, is actually wasted energy. You know, people are always saying such things as, oh, I was so worried about you. And what do we respond to that? Do we say, thank you? Do we say, why? What is it? What do we say? And when we are worried about something or someone, what good does it do us? If you can do something about it, for Pete's sakes, do it. If you cannot, then it's time to do surrender and turn it over to Source, higher mind. Just for today, honor your parents, teachers, and elders. We honor their wisdom. We honor what it is that they can show us, that they can give us, that we can receive it, and it helps to build an ever-advancing civilization. Just for today, earn your living honestly. Whatever that looks like, whether it's being an actress, whether it's being a teacher, a doctor,
Boo. I'm just kidding.
oh my, you know, working at a fast food chain, whatever it is, or dumpster diving, you know, walking the dogs, taking care of the little ones. Just earn your living honestly, whatever that looks like for you. You know, and embrace that and enjoy it. And then the fifth principle is show gratitude. Gratitude to everything that has life. What I'm finding is that rather than jump onto the fear and gloom and doom bandwagon, as soon as I start processing and thinking in a lack and limitation mode, in a fear mode, is to change my stinking thinking immediately. Not 5 minutes later, but immediately, as soon as I trigger spot. And that is called trigger spotting. You know when you are in distress, okay, when you're having panic disorder, whatever, because you feel it in your whole being. And it's like, okay, time to reach out and grab the most positive thought that I can think of. And for me, oftentimes that is, what am I grateful for? Sometimes it's going to be, I am so grateful for the beautiful blue sky. I am so grateful for my little four-legged fur creature. You know, and just start listing for yourself what you are grateful for. And that helps to change and shift the energies. When we continue to spiral down into the deep hole of Calcutta blues, that is when things get funky and we don't deal with things well because we're in our own way. You know, and when we can come back from gratitude, we can be in that more balanced space and more loving, compassionate, kind place. And instead of joining others who are going, oh yes, but, and that's really called being a butt knocker.
Oh!
The scientific term.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the things I have discovered is we can say a statement and then all we have to do is put the word but after that and go into but to take away all the good energy. But negates. The word and, A-N-D, adds. attracts, and okay, but this happened, but that happened, okay. We do not want to be gloom and doom peddlers. There's always in society an elegant sufficiency of those. We want to be cheerleaders. We want to support wherever we can, and that includes our own dear selves. Because oftentimes we can't really assist others until we've taken care of our stuff. Okay? All right. It's very important that we work on ourselves, you know, and the practice is important in order to restore your own balance, whether it be mentally, emotionally, physically, or spiritually, okay, which is the first symbol. And that the name of that first symbol is Say Hey Ki. Say Hey Ki. Opens and balances on all levels, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. That is what we are wanting to restore. Restoring the balance, the time is now. Okay? Our second symbol is Say Hey Ki 2. Say Hey Ki 2. Removing chaotic, traumatic energies. Removing the chaos, the trauma, and the drama. And we use that one when we get into a situation that feels traumatic, that the energy, you walk into a room and the energy is bouncing off of the walls, and it's just, you feel like, oh my goodness, what did I just walk into? And we do not draw attention to ourselves. We can just get quiet and do it mentally. And we can do Say Hey Ki 2, removing chaotic, traumatic energies. So that has 8 movements, okay? First Say Hey Ki, 7 movements. Second Say Hey Ki, 8 movements. All right? Reiki and Say Hey Ki 1 and Say Hey Ki 2 are level 1. Okay? Mm-hmm. So when you have finished the second Say Hey Ki, which is chaos, okay, releasing, you have finished and are a level 1 practitioner after you have received the attunement. So then we move on to second level Reiki. And the second level, we can start out with Cho Ku Rei. Cho Ku Rei, it's like a line over, a line down, and then we begin to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, spiraling into the center of the shield. Okay? Spiraling into the center of the shield. And when I talk about shield, it's like each one of us, our family of origin, we have a family crest, which is built up of much energy. Some good, some negative. Okay? All sorts of things that we have inherited from ancestry. And we can clean many of those things up just using Cho Ku Rei. Now, I have found Cho Ku Rei to be a very powerful one if you have someone who has a terminal illness, a cancer, a really intense pain situation, adding universal life energy, spiraling into the center of the shield. And this I actually feel like is probably the most powerful symbol as far as going right down into the DNA, spiraling into the center of the shield. When we're looking at or thinking of going right down into the smallest particle that we are made up of, you know, and that And I really think, this is my opinion, but I really think that at the very core of that is the energy of love. And that is what we are calling forth. It's the energy of love. And all of the attributes that it's comprised of. Love, okay? So Choku Rei. Then you can do Choku Rei, like if you're working over a person and you have them on a massage table, a Reiki table, you can use both hands. And what you can do is come in, go down, and then go out. 1, 2, 3. 3 and 3 makes 6, all right? And 6 is when we're spiraling into the center, we do it 6 times. When we're coming here and we're doing it 1, 2, 3, that makes 6, okay? 6 is the number of love, okay? Love. It in the tarot card, in the ancient mystery schools, 6 is the number of love. 3 is the sign of completion. It is also like Mother Earth goddess energy. Okay, so 3, and you can work over the person. It's full body and just with your hands, and just coming in, going down, and doing 1, 2, 3. Choku Rei. Han Sha Ze Sho Nin. Okay, this is the one it takes a village. Okay, it takes a village. Okay, what does Han Sha Ze Sho Nin mean?
Removing karmic debt.
Removing karmic debt. Getting off the wheel so that we no longer have to keep doing that race and chasing our tail over and over and over. This is like we are asking at that time to get off the wheel. We no longer want to keep repeating that old lesson. And we can also do this for 7 generations, backwards and forwards. Okay, so the next one is
Han Sha Se Sho Nin 2.
Han Sha Ze Sho Nin 2. Okay? Sending energy through time and space.
Han Sha Ze Sho Nin 2. So we got this first line here, and you go down, whoosh, and then across, whoosh. So you got the cross.
Okay. Yes.
And then you do a little teepee under the cross. Whoosh, whoosh.
Okay.
And then you do another cross on the bottom. Then we come down to this. And Lisa, how did you describe this?
It was my lifeboat.
Yes, the lifeboat. How did you describe this one, Lisa? Do you want to?
The one on top?
Yeah.
That's kind of my rocket ship.
Okay.
It's pointing up, and I've got the nose of the rocket, and then the fuel tank in there, ready to go.
Right. So
the
that's
top one.
The 1, 2, 3, 4,
my
5, right?
I got my compass. I got the 4 directions on my compass. And then I've got the nose of the rocket pointing up. And then my little charge.
Okay.
Spiritual charge.
So that 5 is the charge.
Yep. Then there's my lifeboat.
6, 7.
Then there's my captain's quarters.
Oh, captain's quarters.
And my spiritual charge
9,
is
10.
my horizontal line.
11. And also the bed in the captain's quarters. Hey, that can work. Okay.
Then we are approaching our destination, so my door opened in my captain's quarters.
12, 13, 14, 15.
That's
that
my
door's
door.
opening. Okay.
Then we have approached the destination. First we got to go like little Einsteins up and over the mountains.
Okay.
So up and
16,
down.
17, 18.
Leave a
Boom.
little spiritual charge there.
Okay, you left a little spiritual charge.
Yep.
There.
Now we're approaching the landing strip.
Okay,
Landing
19,
strip. Then put down the
20, 21.
like the anchor. For your
Okay.
ship. And then do your thing. Do your little
22,
the thing you're gonna do there.
23,
Yep.
Okay. May I borrow that for a moment?
Oh, geez. Yeah. And it's vertical like my rocket ship.
I don't know if you can tell or not, but my gals are into sci-fi. Do not concern yourself with this. This feels harder because it is. All right? It's like both of these have 23 movements to them. You know, sending energy through time and space. And what I suggest on that is if you're going to send energy to someone, do it. Start that session with this particular symbol. And when you are going to conclude the session, conclude it with this symbol. Okay? All right.
And
So-
Lilli, that's the end of the second level, right?
Level 2.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So you are now through level 1 Reiki and level 2. So you're, so now you are level 2 Reiki practitioner. Okay. So the masculine is, the lightning bolt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that one is pretty easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the lightning bolt. Can you tell us about it?
So it's the one where it has a lot of uses where
Yes.
you can break off someone's attachment to you.
Right.
You can break off their debt, their karmic debt, where now it's on them, it's not on you anymore as a
Yes.
teacher. And then also it seemed to be able to give you energy. Like sometimes it's not even dealing with a third party, but it's giving energy to yourself.
Yes.
Is
Such as if you're taking an exam or something and you get twitterpated or nervous or something, it's a good symbol to use to help draw the answers, the solutions to you. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's called banking the fire. Okay? So you are banking the fire. So it's kind of like put another log on the fire. And so you're doing that so that the knowledge, the information can appear for you pretty readily. Okay, so that's one thing. And then the other that you were mentioning, it's like, scissors, where you cut the ties that bind. The teacher is responsible for the student and the student's learning until such a point as that the student should by then have the knowledge. Okay, and then what they do with that knowledge is their responsibility. And so we need to cut the ties that bind so that you are not, as the teacher, continually responsible for what you have taught. Okay, them. They're responsible for their own actions and the way they do things. Okay, does that make sense?
It does. And something that I find useful with the Raku, as a teacher, the masculine symbol, is I don't need to know what my responsibility is, because I can verge towards codependency. And sometimes as a teacher, I take responsibility for too much.
Okay.
Oh, they look tired. I wonder if I didn't do enough in the beginning to get people extra, Oh, they stopped coming to class. I bet they just don't like my class. So for me, the Raku symbol is also, I'm cutting away everything that I am not divinely responsible for. So it's I use the symbol all the time. I've never forgotten this one. And for me, it's like my codependency stuff. When I'm getting too involved or overly responsible and it's none of my business and it has nothing to do with me and it's their world, I'll just do that quick little ha, ha, ha.
Yes. Okay. Well, and then also, as you were talking, it's like our ego. They don't like my class, this or whatever, and that is that's our ego talking. Okay, and this is helping you to release that. And yes, this is the masculine principle, Raku, the masculine principle, which means it is the doing, the energy. Okay, the energy, if you need more energy. That's what this symbol is about. Okay, for this and so much more, we give thanks. We give thanks. And thus concludes this day's Reiki class. Bless you all, and I hope to connect with you in the next one. Thank you so very much. Enjoy!